Hello, episode 86 of Three Things with Ian. Welcome. Good to see you again. It is March 27th. On today's episode, we talk Q-Day. Is too much soccer a bad thing? It might be. And lastly, ghost kitchens. All right, let's start off with a crazy fact. I'm kind of new in. I think this is going to be a fun way to jump into the program. So, LeBron James, he's played for 21 years in the NBA. Crazy fact, he has played against more than a third, 35% to be precise, of the players in NBA history over his career. So more than 1 in 3, he's played with 35% of all the players who ever played in the NBA. That's longevity, guys. That's longevity. Okay, so one of the biggest fears around the emergence of quantum computing is not that it will write you terrible haikus, but it will be that the computers will be able to crack and quickly every code known to man and machine. This is called Q-Day. This is new to me, maybe not new to some of my more tech-enabled viewers. So Q-Day is the day a quantum computer can solve encryption that keeps our secrets safe, from passwords to financial records to cryptocurrency to military plans and launch codes. Experts surveyed last year gave a 1 in 3 chance that we would hit Q-Day by 2035. But in a newly released Wired piece, experts gave a 15% chance it's already happened, and development is speeding up. So, computers are getting smarter. We are getting dumber. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe not, though. In December, Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai announced that Google's Willow quantum chip solved a problem in less than 5 minutes that, drumroll here, would take today's best supercomputers 10 septillion years to complete. A few days later, Rigetti Computing, in partnership with NVIDIA, who else, successfully used AI to calibrate a quantum computer. That is, set it up so it works and does whatever it's being asked to do properly, a significant potential time saver that could aid in the proliferation of the technology. So, what can we do about Q-Day? Well, we've been working on this for a long time. That's the good news. At least people were far thinking and they got ahead of this problem a little bit. Researchers have been working hard on quantum proofing encryption and algorithms for many, many, many years. Actually, 2022 was the first release of a standards and technology program that was developed in order to help computer engineers think about the Q-Day problem in a more realistic way. Bitcoin, our beloved Bitcoin, right? It's exquisitely, big word there, vulnerable to Q-Day because of the public ledger. But new cryptocurrencies are, quote unquote, designed to be quantum resistant. So the takeaway, I don't know what the takeaway is for Q-Day. Computers seem to be doing just whatever the heck they want to be doing. Every sci-fi movie, every post-apocalyptic novel and Netflix TV show apparently portrays robots and AI as a doomsday scenario just waiting to happen. For those of us old enough to remember the panic leading up to Y2K, it's a lesson that society can prepare for technological differences and changes. Yes, this is a much bigger and harder solution than the updates required to go from 1999 to 2000, but it's not impossible. One of Biden's final executive orders was actually to release post-quantum encryption standards, so government agencies could be prepared to enact those algorithms ASAP when things went south. So anyway, that is what Q-Day is. It is the day that everything ends. So, stay tuned. Too much football. So, every serious injury, right? And we can talk about load management. We can talk about MLB schedule being as big as it is, right? We love sports. TV loves sports. Ad revenue, right? This is it's big business. But every serious injury sustained draws attention to FIFA's morbidly obese calendar. The fixture congestion is not causing every fitness problem, far from it, but medical problems can only mitigate so much. So medical progress, can only mitigate so much when players are running through so many darn games. So, someone from The Atlantic, his name is Stephen Madley, he basically looked at a player and he calculated how many potential games this individual could play, factoring in things like the World Cup qualifiers, the African Cup of Nations. He got to over 100 competitive matches by the time FIFA's 2026 showpiece, the World Cup, ends. So, put bluntly, top level football, it's sort of similar to American football, where it is incredibly physical and demanding. You're not only midfielders run up to a 10K every game, that's 6 miles, 6.2 miles. They are hit hard. Their heads are hit hard. Their shins, their ankles, their hip flexors. It is a physically demanding game. I coach U9 soccer, and we have injuries all the time still. The human body is just not built for sustained intensity. Canada lost its best player, who plays for Bayern Munich, to a torn ACL just last week when he was playing in America and the Nations Cup. Injuries happen, but they're happening really quickly. So let me pull up that. So the guy's name is Nicholas Jackson. So the games he's eligible to play in between now and 2026 is 47 Premier League games, 5 Europa Conference League games, 7 Club World Cup games, 4 World Cup qualifiers, 7 Africa Cup of Nations games, 4 World Cup playoff games, the 2025-2026 FA Cup, there's 6 games there, the Carabao Cup, there's 6 games, then the Champions League has up to 17 games. Not to mention friendlies and the World Cup. That's 113 games this guy could play. That is absurd. We have a problem. And the problem is there is just so much interest. There's so much money that players are just being pushed to the limit. You saw this in the NBA when they talk about load management and how players don't play back-to-backs because they want to preserve their legs for the playoffs and for more seasons. We got a problem, guys, and FIFA is unlikely to pull itself out of this morass. FIFA can't find its way out of a open box. So 100 games over a calendar year is absolutely absurd. It's like the NFL when they keep adding games. At least they're taking away preseason games, so the total's the same. But the human body, you may love to see a player play, but look at Messi as he ages. It's tough to rebound. Your body is not as resilient. Your elasticity breaks down. All right, our last story, ghost kitchens, cloud kitchens, virtual kitchens. These are essentially a professional food preparation and cooking facility set up for the sole purpose of preparing food for delivery or takeout, right? So you may have heard of these, Mr. Beast Burger. There's a Bao Buns company. So essentially, they are housed within existing restaurants. That's the cool thing. So Chili's and Applebee's, they have a fully functioned kitchen. They have staff they're paying to make food. Some of the food they're making is under a different name, and it's only takeout. So, for example, at Chili's, part of their kitchen is a subset of their kitchen is used for something called Tender Shack, which is takeout chicken tenders. Within Applebee's, you have Cosmic Wings, neighborhood wings. These are the same wings, maybe a different sauce, that are being prepared for Applebee's dine-in customers, and they're also being distributed to takeout, Uber Eats, and DoorDash and all that stuff. Inside of Chuck E. Cheese, you have a Pascali's Pizza and Wings. It's a virtual brand operated by Chuck E. Cheese. They utilize their existing kitchen infrastructure to deliver delivery-only pizza and wings. Name a celebrity. Guy Fieri for one time, Flavortown, George Lopez Tacos, Wiz Khalifa's Hot Box by Wiz. I don't know what these words mean or what they sound like, but these are all ghost kitchens. And so a lot of the times if you're the kind of person that orders a lot of takeout, it's potentially that you're ordering food prepared in a Fazoli's that is a Chinese dumpling. I have done that. Bao, I think it's Bao something or other. Right? They do fast food dumplings, but they're housed within a Fazoli's kitchen. That one doesn't make a lot of sense because the breadstick lady's not making these Bao buns, theoretically. So this is the future. This is not going anywhere. They've probably been doing something similar in Asia when you have, very dense street vendors and restaurants within restaurants within restaurants. They do a lot of takeout, less dine-in. I don't know if everyone knows about these ghost kitchens. It's not a story that everyone has to be aware of. There are very low stakes involved, but they operate out of commercial kitchen spaces, and it's a shared facility. So, and their their presence is strictly virtual, digital realm stuff. So it's a little meta. It's a little different. Obviously, there's reduced overhead costs. They can focus on delivery logistics, flexibility in menu and brand experimentation, and a reliance on online delivery platforms and less on human interaction up front. So ghost kitchens exist. So just putting it out there. It's kind of one of those interesting stories that I'm probably not even scratching the surface of the future of the food industry in terms of ghost kitchens. All right, so too much football. Yes, it's happening. Ghost kitchens, yes, they're happening. And Q Day, the day that the quantum computers can crush every password and launch every nuclear bomb known to modern man. I hope it is not happening in 2035, but we need to be prepared. And I'm sure we're woefully underprepared because that is just how it goes. Okay, that's my episode for today. Thanks for listening. Share, comment, post, do all the